Good evening and welcome to TUF2 round 9 in Australia. I'm joined today by Will. How are you, Will?
I'm absolutely fantastic, thank you.
That's that's great to hear. Okay, calm down now. Um, we are, like I said, in Australia. Um, I will give you a short rundown of the standings to let you know where we're at. Um, it's a dry session, which is great. Um, we won't be seeing a championship decider today, I'm pretty sure. Um, I'll just go through the top 5 real quick. Sitting in first, we have Judy on 105 points. 17th behind Waitsy with 88. Then Showen P3 with 71 points. Wesley Santana in P4 with 59 points. And then Chandas in P5 with 57 points. Alright, let me put up the stream to see if anyone's saying something. Wait,
Steins up is saying wet race.
Ooh, that's spicy. I like that. I like that. Um, so considering most guys will use a wet setup, what are you expecting for pole then?
It's going to be tough to call. I think there's going to be a few people at the top of the championship that are going to be going for it, really, with it still being all to play for.
Um, yeah, Wait, wasn't Zandvoort the last time we commentated together also wet? I think
Yeah,
it was, and it was Waitsy completely dominating that race.
we're bringing the British weather in it, mate.
But we're in Australia, mate, so you know. Um,
Yeah, yeah, mate. Bring the weather down here.
Jesus, this is going to be fun. Um, Alright, let's see who's first and check. I'm pretty sure it should be Sean. Yeah, it's Sean. Right, I'll go on board with Sean for now and just maybe you can talk us through the lab if you want.
Yeah, sure thing. We're just coming around the final corner to start the lap. Takes a lot of curb to try and maximise his exit speed. DRS open right away, of course. Braking hard and late. Manages to get it hooked up over the inside curb and then uses the outside curb as well to really increase the radius of the corner and maximise his exit. Up to the left, he sees the blackboard, brakes, down to second. Gets the car straightened up for the left-hander then. Nicely flat through here, you avoid the inner curb so that you don't risk spinning out. Letting the brakes here as well, takes a lot of curb on the inside. Again, using that curb on the outside to really maximise his exit speed. On the run up to the chicane now, he can brake nice and late here, don't quite touch the sausage on the inside, but gets over the curbing. Power down now for the short straight. Not very straight, but it's still a straight as we come up towards the fast chicane, the Spinella hotspot itself. Using a little curve on the entry, using more on the exit, trying to straight line that chicane. He gets a little bit loose at the rear, but he manages to keep it all together. Braking nice and late now, a little lock up on the front right. Doesn't quite use all the track on the left hand side, could have possibly carried a little bit more speed through there and try and get the throttle as early as possible through that right hander. Another lock up there on the front left for the left hander. Taking a wide entry, looks like he may have tapped the grass ever so slightly, but he manages to keep it together. And looked like a pretty decent lap there by Schuhen to set a 1 minute 20.7.
Yeah, look like a pretty safe banker to start the session. Um, yeah, I'm pretty sure we're going to see some improvement, not only from Sean but like from everyone as well. I don't know if the house is on the lap, but I'm on board with kids at the moment. Let's see. Very aggressive through the last sector. A bit wide last con, but I don't think it's too bad. Let's see what he does. Goes into P1. First game in 19th, 19.8. So we're getting fast pretty early in the session. TT invalidated. What about backmark invalid as well. Duty. Oh, I hate this last fast ride before this hairpin in the last sector. I also don't like the last corner, it's so easy to spin there on traction. So Judy does into P3, but pretty far off of kills, which is a bit surprising to me. Yeah, TT just making sure he gets back to the pits. Bank marker now on the lap. Ooh, touches a bit of... when you go through the flat out right, invalid again. When you go through the flat out right in the first sector, do you use the curb on the inside or do you try to avoid it?
I don't think it's worth the risk, really. It can really unsettle the car. So yeah, I don't think it's really worth the risk for the time gain there, to be honest. Finds up starting his lap now as well in the Renault.
Yeah, I'm on board with him. I think he's a reserve, and I saw someone else signing up as a reserve, but I don't see him in the lobby. I think his name is Smooth Hands or something. He isn't in here, and we are very low on attendance today, only 14 drivers joining. So I think it will be the case of just make sure to finish and you will very likely get points. Because like you said, T11 and 12, the fast chicane is very easy to spin, very easy to crash out. I'm expecting at least 2 DNFs in the race, especially now that we're going to see a wet race.
Yeah, it's definitely a big possibility. You want to take as much of the inside curve as possible to really sort of straight line the exit, but it really unsettles the car.
Yeah.
You can very easily find yourself flying into the right hand side barrier.
Yeah. It's very easy to touch a bit of grass on the outside, because you obviously want to maximize all the track you have, and just like 1 centimeter is 1 centimeter too far left and you touch the grass and just spin. Stein goes into P2, so we have a Renault 1-2 at the moment. Corey starting his lap. Very aggressive cut in turn 1 there, but I think it's basically what you have to do. All the laps I've seen so far were very cautious going into turn 1. Like no one used the turn 1 curb as aggressively as they could do. Oh, kids just getting out of the way. Steinberg also getting out of the way.
People just playing it safe for their first laps. I mean, I was on board with TT44 in the Haas, and he really went for it turn 1 and invalidated at turn 1, so it is a real risk.
Oh, Corey, yeah.
Meredith nearly loses it.
Yeah, that's
the right hander there.
Yeah, that's lip down basically. It's a very, very hard traction zone, that corner, because obviously you have to get as early on the power as possible, but you still have like a bit of steering input while you're trying to go full throttle, so it's a very hard corner, very hard exit.
Yellow flags for people getting out of the way.
Yeah.
Yeah, Stands Up's definitely got a much better time in the tank. I think there he went purple in sector 1 and 2, but he made some mistakes in the second sector. So I'll definitely be looking for him to try and come back and make a challenge for pole later on in the session as well.
Second in the championship, Waitsy coming up to the line. See what he does. 21.1. I'm a bit surprised that we only have one guy in the 19s yet. I was expecting the majority of the grid to be in the 19s, but it's very early in the session, so we can still see that.
Just trying to play it safe at the very start. You don't want to end up like how TT is, for example, where he's going to be under pressure now because he doesn't have a lap to fall back on.
Yeah. Jack into P4, I think. Yeah, Kieran invalidated. Going back to the pits. Kills is on a lap. Let's see if he can improve his banker. Yeah, a lot of short shifting through that. Oh, never mind. He's actually not in hot lap mode, so not on a fast lap. What about Showen? Showen has a lot of time left in this session, I think. Very cautious and conservative banker. 1.5 tenths up in sector 1. Good exit. Didn't find a lot of time though. I think he actually lost some time, but he was really loose through that chicane on his first lap, so I think he found a lot of time there. Ah, a bit deep. Missed the apex. That looked pretty nice.
Back Mark is going to be getting a nice tilt to the line as well from Judy Jench. That's the line to go P4.
And Showen jumps in. Judy already invalidated. Someone else on the lap. Stu coming up to the line. The guy who can't wait to get F1 2021. Not a day goes by where he mentions the game. I'm exaggerating, obviously. Is it the right word? I think it is, right?
What, sorry?
Or TT spinning. It's on the stream, mate. It's on the stream. Lewis Hamilton would never.
Yeah, TT clearly not very hashtag blessed. I'm going to change those tyres over.
His tyres are done, Bono.
Wesley Santana also wanting us at a lap time.
Yeah, I'm on board with him right now. And we're getting pretty close to crunch time, and we still have 4 guys without a lap yet. 2 of them still in the pits. Obviously TT just spun. So TT very
that was really nice through the chicane.
Yeah,
there
I
from
was
Santana.
about to say,
On the inside.
Very clean. His car looks very hooked up, so I'm guessing he has pretty stable wet setup. Which in my opinion is the right thing to do. Oh, he's actually pitting, which is interesting.
Clearly wasn't hooked up enough.
Kapow.
Just want to finish that last time.
Hello Rogers. Hello Henry.
Oh, the boys.
TUF1 driver, of course. Looking at the youth coming up. His competition for next season if he stays a full-time driver, of course. Chandra's on a lap, I think Judy as well. No, Judy invalid. Yeah, he didn't look very happy. I think he invalidated the chicane. Right, let's look at Chandra's. Chandra's actually P5 in the standings, I think, so if he wants to make up some places, he should qualify. Oh, very wide line on that chicane. I've never seen someone do that. They looked very clean as well. Pretty sure he's on a second lap because he's so low in ERS. Or am I being stupid, Will?
Oh, and Kieran nearly loses it into the wall.
Oh, not good.
Yeah, I mean he hasn't invalidated. It looks like he's going to keep going.
Yeah, I
Oh,
think...
now he's lost it. Now he's lost it at the chicane. That's a DNF, surely.
Is it?
How has he survived that?
Oh, lots of pressure on him now because he will only have 1 shot at qualifying good, and
Flipped
you need.
and shift.
So Chandra's managed to improve his time, but he didn't gain any positions. So is he going again? I think he is. Or is he just pushing to make sure he gets back in time? Anyways, Corey, I think, yeah, he just finished his lap. Jacking's invalid.
Oh, and that's a crash at the turn 1.
Oh, who was it? Oh, yeah,
DH55
yeah,
from
Stu.
Max gets blocked by Stu, and
Oh,
they come together.
they came together.
Turn one. That was a big
Oh,
incident there.
yeah, Max is still in the grass in turn 1. So not sure what happened there, but I'm pretty sure we're going to see it in the stewards or reports
Yeah,
channel.
Stu was coming out of the pits and just took the racing line through turn 1, while CH was just behind him on a hot lap, and
Okay.
CH went straight into the back of him.
That's
Massive ring damage on
okay.
that Alfa Romeo. And I don't know if he's gonna. I don't think he's gonna be able to set another time.
I don't think he would have enough time to get back into the pits. I'm pretty sure. Sean went a bit deep going into turn 1, but turn 3 looked nice. Just like turn 4. See if he's improving. Only by 300s. But he is improving. So let's stay on board with him for now until Stein, Kills and Doody go out. I don't know if... I'm not too sure if anyone is going to come close to Stein and Kills, to be honest. I'm not sure how much time Doody has left in him. But shown only improving by just over 2/10, so... They look better than...
It's hard to go.
Better than his previous lap. They looked also pretty nice, bit of a lockup, but I don't think that cost him any. Loses the rear going to the last corner, very, very loose. Should be an improvement. Goes into P2. Actually only 200s off of Kills. So... Doody... Is he coming out of the pits? Yeah, he is, alright. Back marker slowing down. I think he's trying to get a gap to the guy ahead.
Just back. He was on a hot lap. I think he's just backed out now to try and get. He wasn't up on his lap, so I think he's just going to try again. I think he's got the fuel to set another.
Yeah. Well, you don't need to look at the tire life because with the rain you're obviously not starting on your qualifying tires.
We've got Kills coming up to the final corner now as well to start his lap.
Way too great turn 1 and turn 2. Alright, so Kills just starting his lap, I think. Waits his first sector looked very nice. Touches the grass on the entry into turn 5, which is something I've never seen before, I think. 2.5 tenths down, so let's jump on board with Kills for now. Also touches the curve. He is improving by a 10th.
Yeah, and I'm going to follow along with Stein's lap then.
Yeah.
He's just started his lap.
Alright.
These are the two cars in the battle for pole.
Looks like a very nice lap from Kills so far. He's improving by 2/10, so if he doesn't throw it away, this should be a pretty significant improvement. Very nice through there.
First sector.
Okay. Kills now. Second last corner. Very nice. Yeah, bit wide through the last corner, but I'm pretty sure this should still be a big improvement. Yeah, 19.5. Stein is up though.
Yeah, someone just goes purple in sector 2. We've got a Ferrari there into the wall.
Yeah, I think pretty sure. Yeah, has to be Jags, as he's our only Ferrari. Now Stein. Yeah, that looks very, very good. This should at least be P2. Will he be able to challenge for pole? Oh, very wide, but not invalid. Oh, not even P. 3,000. Wow. Doody coming up to the line. Will he improve? No, he does not. What about Corey? Last guy to set his lap. Goes into P5, I think? I think it was P5, yeah, P5. Alright, that's quali done. Do you want to give us a rundown or should I do it?
Go for it. You go for it.
Right, kills in P1 with a 19.5. We'll see what setup he was using because he's pretty far out of Shown in P2 and Stein in P3, then a big gap to Duty in P4, Corey in P5, Bankmarker P6, Jack Kings P7, Wade CP8, Stu P9, Migrating Host, Kieran P10, Trunders P11, Wesley P12, then TT in P13 and Max in P14. Am I still in the lobby?
Yeah, it's back marker left.
Okay.
Back marker left the lobby there.
That's interesting. Let's see if I can invite him back really quick. No, that's not the way you do that.
As we see confirmation there of the rain for this session. It's going to be like rain from start to finish. It's immediate tire weather.
Is it Inters? Yeah,
sure looks like it.
Yeah, race director says everyone is on Inters, so I'm pretty sure no one is going to go for wets. But we'll see, maybe it will start raining heavier during the race, so we might see wet tires towards the end.
Yeah, possibly. We'll have to wait and see. Weather we've always got a little bit of an unpredictability about it, so.
Talking about weather, what do you think about the new feature for next game where you can say that the weather is not 100% accurate?
Yeah, I mean, I was just thinking about that then when we were talking about the what might possibly happen later on in the race. I think that's it's a pretty interesting concept actually. It's a lot more realistic. It'd be interesting to see if leagues decide to go with the
I hope so.
The realistic feature. I hope they do because it would really spice things up. Unpredictability is always improves the racing, so
yeah,
it will be very interesting to see some absolute blinding strategy calls.
Yeah, not just that. You also, like in real life, we would be able to see like a lot more surprise winners, maybe surprise podiums, if someone manages to nail the setup, nail the strategy. I would love leagues to nail that, and I'm pretty sure we are definitely going to see leagues who will run that. Alright, let's just hope Backmarker leaving did not screw up the lobby. Because
I hope so. Looks like CH55 Max is really backing off here for some reason.
Yeah, I don't know. He's going very slow. Very big gap to TT ahead of him as well.
I don't know if he's trying to maybe give himself an advantage by letting the cars ahead tyres cool down on the grid, perhaps.
Maybe.
Yeah, I really don't see why he would be doing this.
Well,
half a second behind now.
I think most leagues really don't like people doing that because it just takes up.
The other drivers.
Yeah, it just takes up unnecessary amounts of time. But he is starting to get closer, so I think we shouldn't be waiting too long on the grid. Maybe he was trying to change something on his wheel or controller or something.
I mean, it looks like he was probably backing off so that he could then go really quick through the last sector to really build up some temperature.
That would be a smart idea actually. Maybe test the limits.
Be allowed or not, but yeah, the cars are lining up now. Kills and Stewart on the front row of the grid, Stein's up just behind, they're probably looking to try and get involved.
Why is Stein in P3 for me? Oh, never mind, he finished P3, that's why.
I'll be flickering about a bit.
3, 4, 5, and away we go.
Away we go. That's a terrible start by Shewan.
Yeah, he's very, very slow to move off the line. No, why?
Falling down the order, Wesley Santana with massive oversteer as well coming off the line. Kills is going to lead into 1. Dench has taken P3. P2, sorry. Stein's up to P3. Shewan's in P4, but he could fall down even further here because T-West Meredith is looking to make the move, and he does make the move around the outside. We'll see if he can perhaps hold it down the inside. They can't. They make a little bit of contact, but they keep it mostly clean. That McLaren's coming down the inside as well now of Stu.
Yeah,
Too
Sean
wide
is
throughout the entire
really
field,
dropping.
pretty much there.
Dude, he had a great start. He just shot off the line. He's apparently in P7, but the timing should sort itself out in the next lap.
Should sort itself out, yeah, at the finish line, but
So we have Kills in P1, Judy in P2, Stein in P3, Corey in P4, Sean really dropping off the line. And yeah.
What a move there by TT44 on back marker to go around the outside, back marker into the wall.
Yeah, I think it's still
I'm not
back
sure if he
marker's
managed
AI.
to rejoin or if he's still AI.
I didn't see him rejoin, so I'm pretty sure he's still AI.
We've got a battle between Trunders as well and MVP Kieran. Trunders getting past on the exit of the chicane. Don't think Kieran can really fight this one back very well. Trunders is going to cover off the inside though to stop him from trying to sneak it down the inside and make the move, and yeah, Trunders makes it stick.
Right. Waitsy and Stu are very close to each other, but no moves done yet. But I think Waitsy got a very good exit there. Using his ES3 goes defensive. Is Waitsy going to try and send it around the outside? Yeah, whoa, great move. Wow.
Stu gets a little bit loose as well, and Jack King's going to use that opportunity to try and sneak past him, and he has done. I don't think Stu can be challenged that either into turn 3, although he does have a look at doing it. He's just a little bit too far back.
Very loose on the exit.
Putting the pressure on Trunders as well.
Yeah, but this is not the sector to make moves, so let's look at the front actually and see. I can't see any gaps because I don't have a timing screen, which is great, but on the minimap you can see that Sean is really dropping. He's I think that's at least probably around 2 seconds, I would say.
Yeah, probably around 1.5 seconds, I'd imagine. Yeah, that looks like the top 4 are going to be the top 4 for the entirety of this race if we don't see any unpredictability going on, because they do look to have the pace, at least in these conditions.
Yeah.
All pretty close at the front. Looks like Jench might have a tiny bit of pace over Stein's up, because it looks like the front 2 are starting to also pull away a little bit.
Yeah, that's what I thought as well, because Stein has already used a fair amount of EIS, while Kills and Judy are almost full. So is Corey.
So there's a collision there at the back of the field. That's Kieran has got into Trunders. Trunders is on the grass. TT nearly gets hit as well there by Kieran. They're going to be 3 wide through the last corner. Kieran lost out with that mistake though. He's going to drop back. Trunders manages to recover it at least for now, but TT puts the pressure on. He's going to move to the inside, trying to make the move on Trunders. Gives him the squeeze to the outside. Make a little bit of contact at the apex of 1. Yeah, TT loses the car a little bit there. It looks like Kieran's going to be able to go back around the outside. Now it's a drag race up to turn 3. Trunders getting ahead a little bit. Wesley Santana looking to put a little bit of pressure on as well as these guys fight. MVP Kieran getting a little bit loose at the rear, but manages to keep it under control. And yeah, I think they're going to have to hold station now for a few corners before we get to the next overtaking opportunity.
You can breathe now.
Thank you. Thanks for the permission. A bit worried then that I wouldn't be allowed to.
Nah, you can if you want, but only if you want. I'm not forcing you to breathe, of course.
Oh, okay. Of course.
Corey...
Meredith putting the pressure now on Stein's up as he goes wide, and he's going to lose a lot of time there to Stein's up.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that might be a warning as well, knowing how the game and track limits work. But I think Sean is slowly getting used to the conditions. He's getting closer to Corey again. But yeah, Corey really putting pressure on Stein, as Stein is slowly dropping pace to Duty, and Kills meanwhile is putting a wall.
But he's got a brilliant run on Stein's up. He might be able to set up a move on the next straight. He gained a lot of time in a straight line. Stein's up has to go slightly defensive. It's going to compromise his exit. Meredith focuses on his exit, but he gets a big bit of oversteer mid-corner in the dirty air of Stein's up, and that's going to let Stein's up off. Meredith will be okay though, because Schuhen is quite far back, so he's not going to have to worry about looking in his mirrors for the time being. But that was a real opportunity there that he squandered. with that little bit of oversteer through the left-hander.
Looking further back, Chandas, meanwhile, getting very close to Stu, who was not able to keep up with CH Max, Jack, Kings, and Waitsy after they went past him. So I'm not sure if Chandas will be able to close that gap, but he looks like he's faster than Stu at the moment, even though he just lost a bit of time in sector 2.
Schuhen starting to catch up a little bit to the back of Meredith now, starting to really get acclimatised to the conditions, although we have seen a couple of times where he was a little bit iffy on track limits. I'd imagine he's probably only one warning away from a penalty. But yeah, no penalties through the whole field so far. It's quite unexpected.
I don't know how it is for you, but I usually feel like it's a lot easier to stay within track limits when it's wet. Just because I'm not pushing as hard and just making sure to stay on track and not spin. I don't know how it's for you, but I feel like it's easier to not get penalties when it's wet.
Yeah, no, I'd agree with that, to be honest. When it's in the wet, you just need to focus on keeping it on the road, and yeah, you're really not going to be pushing and using all the curbing, especially, so
Yeah.
yeah, it's much easier to not get penalties, I'd imagine.
But it's also very, very hard to make moves. Even if you're faster than the guy ahead, of course, you don't have DRS in the wet, so you really have to hope for a mistake by the guy ahead, or you just have to be 2 seconds faster lap, and even then you might struggle to get past, especially on a track like Australia where it's even with DRS very hard to overtake. So I think Corey is just sitting there and thinking or hoping that Stein makes a mistake in the next few laps, because that's probably a warning there.
Yeah, we've seen a few drivers really pushing the limits on the exit of the chicane with that curving on the left-hand side.
Yeah.
Prior to we haven't got a penalty just from that, to be honest. But yeah, it's all sort of settling down into a little bit of a rhythm now. We've got Wesley Santana putting a lot of pressure on backmarker through the chicane, but other than that, relatively spaced out. Chunder's also putting the pressure on Stu, as it looks like Wesley Santana wants to make a move here. He's going to look to the inside of the Red Bull driver. He's going to be a little bit too far back though.
I don't know if backmarker is back.
Is looking pretty comfortable up front now. Everybody's just sort of settling into their own rhythm. Stein's having the fastest lap of the race there though, so he's not settling for P3.
He's used a lot of ES on that lap. Yeah,
Stu and Chunder's having a really good fight here as well.
Backmarker is pitting. Stu and Chunders. Ooh, Stu.
Should make the move now. If he doesn't get oversteer, he doesn't. Stu's going to try and cover off the inside though. He's going to make Chunders go the long way around.
He would have on the brakes, inside for the next corner though. Oh yeah, that's a good move. I think
that's going to be the move there for Chunders as Stu picks up a little bit of oversteer. Kieran might have a look now as Stu completely loses the car, goes out a little bit wide.
I think he went out of the way, which is a bit surprising.
Two positions in 2 corners.
I'm not sure if we missed him getting... I don't see any damage. So I don't know what that was about. He's probably... I'm not sure what's going on with Stu right now. He just went completely over the grass. Maybe he's just not enjoying his race and is about to quit that. I don't know what's going on with him right now. Let's see if Chandas... Oh! Showen managed to get past Corey, so I completely missed that. Sorry about that. Waitsy managed to catch up to the guys ahead, so after his commanding win in the wet in Zandvoort, he seems to be looking very, very strong again today in the rain.
Yeah, I mean, you really do see drivers pace when they're allowed to just do some laps now without fighting each other. And that's what we're seeing now with these gaps opening up. Stein's up though does look to be getting pretty comfortable in these conditions now.
Yeah, he looked a bit slower than the rest at the beginning, but he found his rhythm, and now managed to pull away from Sean and Corey, who obviously were fighting, so we have to factor that in as well. I saw Sean improve by like 4/10 in the first sector, and he's already had up a second compared to Curry the AlphaTauri behind, so. And Stein now within a second of duty, which obviously doesn't mean anything because it's wet and you don't have DRS. I also
we still have a brilliant battle at the back of the field as well. Meredith looks like he's going to be a little bit too far ahead for Waity to put pressure on. Kieran also might be a little bit too far behind Trunders unless Trunders makes a mistake, and he doesn't. So yeah, the race sorted into a little bit of a rhythm now, but still some fighting going on throughout the field. Kieran and Trunders very close actually through that right-hander.
Kieran's hitting the fastest lap, so maybe starting to push, or it's getting a bit drier.
Shuan says, I see your 135.5 and I'm going to raise you a 135.2. Pace really picking up as the line starts to dry out a little bit with these cars going over it.
Could we maybe see dry tires towards the end? I don't know the whole weather forecast, so I'm not too sure. But it doesn't look like it's stopping, like it's stopped raining. So
yeah, I mean it's gonna need the rain to completely stop, and then it's gonna need a few laps for the track to dry out. So yeah, it's all gonna depend on the rain, really. I mean, I don't think the weather gave any dry spells during the race, but yeah, anything can happen. Especially if there's a safety car, it takes you past the expected weather forecaster and into the unknown. So
yeah,
we'll have to wait and see. Well, that would really spice up this race.
Talking about safety cars, we haven't seen anyone go off in turn 12 yet, which is a bit surprising, but obviously that's what we want to see. We want everyone to
Here goes the commentator's curses. We have a VSC for Meredith going off
oh,
at chicane.
Jesus.
I saw that one coming a mile off as soon as you opened your mouth.
I'm so sorry,
VSC
Bossman.
deployed.
I'm so sorry, boss.
Meredith out of this race. As you mentioned earlier on at the start of the race, how much of getting points today is going to depend on not winning it.
I'm so sorry.
I cannot believe you've just...
I mean, it had to happen. Let's be honest here. It had to happen. Oh, Jesus. I said...
Of course, as soon as you opened your mouth, I was like, well, here we go.
I know. I said he didn't catch it on stream, but it had to happen. And I think we are green again.
Yeah, we are green again. Steins up closed the gap a little bit to Gench, but it seems like Kills has pulled away a little bit as well. But gap staying pretty much the same throughout the field after that VSC. You guys at the back of the pack starting to pit now as well. Shuan not too far back from Steins up as well. He could be looking at making a move pretty soon as well. But yeah, some people with 8 second, TT has 8 seconds of penalty, so I wonder if he did some sort of infringement there under the VSC. He's got Stu all over the back of him. Stu running a little bit wide out of turn 2 though. And that's an easy place to bin it as well. He did well. He's going to try and have a look to actually make the move around the outside, but yeah, there's no way that's going to happen. Stu just dragging the rear through turn 4 there.
Yeah, I think that's also... Oh, what just happened to Stu?
I'm not too sure. I missed that, but he's off in the gravel actually. And
yeah,
this looks pretty disastrous for Stu. He's got wing damage as well. He's going to have to pit, and he's already a long way back. He might retire this in the pits if he feels like there's no point in continuing. Or I'm not sure just how resilient Stu is. I'm sure we'll find that out just now. I mean, his race certainly isn't over if there is a safety car, but that is a big if. His back marker picks up 3 seconds there as well. He's up to 6, so some people start to struggle with the penalties just a tiny little bit now.
Yeah, and before the VSC, Stein managed to get very close to Doody, but Doody now starting to pull away from Stein again. Yeah, yeah, we don't really have anything going on track. Closest battle we have is TT and Trim for P10. TT with a penalty. But yeah, I think that's what we were expecting for Australia. Australia obviously not known for close on-track battles, especially not if it's raining. Oh, yeah, and I think
Yeah,
that's Stu who is
yeah, he's got to
retired.
retire that in
Yeah.
the pits. So, yeah, from 14 starters, we're now down to 12 runners, as is the attrition-like nature of a wet race.
Yeah.
Schumann getting caught up on the grass a little bit there under braking. He's going to lock up a little bit. It's going to give Steinzach a little bit of respite as well, as he was just starting to come under a little bit of pressure. Kill's looking really comfortable there out front.
So let's assume it will be wet for the rest of the race. When do you think are we going to see the first guys coming into the pits for a new set of inters?
Well, it's always a one-stop as well on the inters with these 50% races. I'd imagine probably straight bang down the middle around lap 14. Maybe like 15 or 13. If you want to see some people make an undercut, they might try at lap 13 as well, because these the tyres are quite durable in the wet. Stein's upsetting a purple first sector there as well. He's trying to hunt down Duty Gench. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see. I don't think there's much opportunity though for drivers to pull something out the bag on strategy. I imagine it would be a pretty uniform affair. But
what about guys like Waitsy or Jackings trying to go the whole distance on the same set of tires? Do you think that could be possible?
I don't think that's really going to be an option for them, to be perfectly honest. I don't see that working out.
Yeah, probably not.
Really
I think that's something you would be doing in the last race of a championship when you have nothing to lose but everything to gain, but that's not really the case today. So yeah, I think we're just going to see a normal one-stop. Stein.
Yeah, I would imagine so. There goes Stein's up, converting that fastest first sector into a fastest lap. Chunder's still under pressure from TT. This is a great little race on track. Obviously, TT does have those penalties, so I'd imagine he isn't going to finish ahead of Chunder's at the end of this one. But could still make for a great on-track battle. We do just see like the hint of a battle around 2, 3, and 4. They'll gain up to each other, then they'll fall back again. But if one driver can maybe try and put in a few consecutive laps where they're really on the top of the game, then they could possibly get within striking distance. But
Yeah.
looking pretty uniform at this moment in time.
Except those three and Channes and TT, we have nothing going on right now. Everyone is like 5 to 6 seconds behind each other and just driving their own race. So very uneventful so far, sadly. But yeah, you have those races.
The thing is about a wet race, especially like this, is it could erupt into absolute madness at any second. If one person mins it and it's a safety car,
yeah, definitely,
something along those lines, or the leader loses it.
Stein and Sean, the first guys to pit.
And could this be an attempt at an undercut by Steinzach on Duty Gench?
Oh,
Steinzach can come out in clean air and put in some purple lap times. He could actually look at getting past and making that move off track. Looks like he is going to have clean air as well to come out into. He should be ahead of MVP Kieran, although it may be a little bit close to call, especially for Schumann.
They should both be ahead. Yeah.
Yeah, and they'll be comfortably ahead there. So this is it. Hammer time now. Steinzach. We'll see what the Dutchman in the Renault can do. He needs some really quick sector times now. I'd imagine Kills and Duty will both probably box this lap or next lap. They won't want to stretch it too long, or they may well lose that position. They probably know that. Back marker going purple as well.
So I'm pretty sure he managed to join back because the AI doesn't do that.
Yeah, exactly. Chunder's still under a lot of pressure from TT. TT takes a really great line. Chunder's struggling a little bit for traction out at the exit of turn 3, and TT's just keeping the pressure on the Red Bull driver. They come through the fast right-hander of Sector 1 and into Sector 2. Chunder's driving the widest Red Bull ever designed by Adrian Newey, I think, at the moment.
Duty. Ooh. Oh, Kills gets a
with a
speeding
5-second penalty.
Oh, this could be huge towards the end. Is Duty going to hold up? No, he's not. Duty was very sketchy on the exit into the pit, so I'm pretty sure he lost a fair amount of time there, but he...
And I think Steinzap might have him here. I think Steinzap has got to have made the undercut work. It's got to be tight. Duty's coming out of the pits there. Steinzap setting another purple sector time. They're going to be side by side.
Oh, that's
Steinzap
a great
undercut. And that is an absolutely
Stein.
Fantastic bit of strategy there by Steinzap. And now he's within the 5 seconds of kills. If he can keep this gap the same, he's in an EP1.
Yeah, and Schoen also managed to get very close to Duty. So if Duty would have decided to stay at another lap, he would have lost 2 positions. So I think he got caught a bit off guard by Steinzap pitting. TT meanwhile finally managed to get past Chanders, but Chanders, nope, doesn't look, nah, backs out, doesn't try to get past. But yeah, now it's all about penalties, and will Stein be able to keep the pace and gap 2 kills?
I think Kills is still probably the favourite for this one with the pace he demonstrated at the start. I think he might just be able to get that gap, but it may well be pretty close. You've got to think as well, come the end of the race, I mean, Steinzap boxed on what, lap 12, was it? The end of lap 12, going on to lap 13, so...
Yeah.
We saw how much the tyre difference was between Judy and Steinzap when Steinzap came out on the fresh ones, and Judy's were only 13 laps old, so how are Steinzap's going to be when they're 16 or 17 laps old? He might be struggling a lot with them, so...
One lap
that's going to really factor into things as well. But there goes Steinzap going purple again.
Oh, okay,
but I think Kills did still pull an advantage there, so I think he just didn't get that because he came out of the pits. You could see Kills go purple again. This lap, I thought there may have been an overtake there, but no, that's in the pit lane. Wesley Santana and MVP Kieran coming out very close to each other. As only now does the AWS graphics say that the pit window is open, so as I said before, Steinzap could really struggle on those tyres toward the end. He pit quite a few laps earlier than what you would expect them to.
I think
that's going to be interesting to see. Back markers right up behind Wesley Santana, though. This could be an overtake here for the Red Bull driver. He's going to move to the outside. Wesley on the inside. Ever so slightly later on the brakes is back marker, but Wesley manages to cover that off. I don't think back marker can send it back down the inside at that corner. It's just not the right kind of corner to do it, and he doesn't. Wesley Santana manages to pull a little bit of a gap there as back marker doesn't have the best corner tucked up behind the dirty air of that Williams car. Now Shewan trying to put the pressure on Duty here, so there's a few close battles on track. Everybody's pretty similar on pace, I think, respective to the people around them. So we could see some more battles erupting throughout the field.
Yeah. Gap from Kills to Steinzap is pretty equal at the moment. Not really pulling away. He does get the fast lap though, but yeah, Stein matches it instantly. So I think this could, like you said, it could all come down to tire life and tire advantage towards the end. Even though I'm not too sure if one lap is going to be that much of a difference, considering how durable and long-lasting those inters are. So I don't think we will have like a Bahrain scenario, for example, where one lap could make all the difference. But you never know. Maybe Stein is pushing too much at the moment, which will make his tires wear even more. You can only
Yeah, I mean, you wouldn't
speculate at the moment.
imagine the degradation would be very high, but yeah, it does also depend as well on how much Steinzaf is pushing. You'd imagine both Steinzaf and Kills are going to be pushing now because they both know the importance of staying within that 5 second margin.
Yeah.
But yeah, right now Steinzaf's managing to hold on to him.
Stein really using not a lot of ES, but he's very low compared to the guys around him, except Showman, who's actually lower than Stein, but kills up to 70, Duty on 80, Waitsy on 90, kills fastest lap. How much? What about Stein? Yeah, Stein's lap was 9 tenths slower, so I think Kills is just starting to get back into his rhythm, the rhythm he had before the first pit stop.
Yeah, he's looking like he is still going to be the winner of this race if he can continue this pace onwards.
Don't do what I did. Don't jinx him. You know the commentator's curse.
Very true, very true.
But again, no real on track.
Pretty similar this lap so far. But yeah, no on track action as you were saying. There's a little bit of a train forming now at the back from P8 all the way down to P12. And I think Backmarker's got a little bit of a pace offset as well, as he does seem to be a little bit quicker than the guys around him. At least he was earlier on in the race.
Yeah, very unfortunate that he oh.
And that's massive as Steinzaf picking up 3 seconds, so that now means Kills is in the net race lead.
I think, and Stein might be dropping down to P4 if Sean manages to get a bit closer. He is around 3.2 behind Stein at the moment. But Sean obviously seeing Stein's penalty on his timing thing screen, so I'm assuming he will start to push a bit more now, and towards the end to show he's getting this P3. Oh,
yep, Judy now picking up the 3 seconds as well. Schuhen could be laughing all the way to the bank here if he can keep this on track, not pick up any penalties. He could be on for a potential P2.
Yeah.
If he can keep putting in those good lap times. I did see Steinzaf taking a little bit of liberties just at the exit of turn 1 a couple of times, and it looks like it's caught up with him now. Kieran's still putting the pressure on Trunders on the run down to turn 1, but he's a little bit too far back. So there's always a little fight emerging between these two drivers. They've entertained us all race, as well as TC ahead as well. Santana just out of range of getting involved in this little scrap as well.
I think TT might be screwed by his penalties. Let me actually look how many he has at the moment.
He's going to drop to the last. He's got 8 seconds of penalties at the moment, so yeah,
then,
I imagine he would. Well, Backmarker also has 6 seconds, so he could be saved from a last position finish, but a finish in the top 10 is pretty unlikely now from him unless we see some absolutely biblical scenes.
But like we said multiple times now, it's the rain, so you never know what happens. Hell could break loose any second. But I'll be honest, it's been a very dull race so far.
Yeah, it hasn't quite matched the excitement you'd expect as Wesley Santana picks up a 3-second penalty as well. So yeah, TT needs these drivers to keep picking up these penalties, as that's a massive lockup from Wesley Santana. He's probably lost about a second there to MVP Kieran. He's going to possibly come under pressure now from Backmarker, who's gained quite a few tenths as well. Wesley Santana drops all the way to 1.6 seconds behind, a little fight ahead of him.
TT is pitting. I'm not too sure what that's all about.
Serve the 5-second penalty and hope that there's a safety car or something. I'm not too sure what his reasoning is there. That doesn't quite make sense to me. Backmarker looks to be doing the same.
Crazy strategy call onto the softs. Do it. Oh, come on, that's boring. That's
Yeah, inters
boring.
for both drivers, but Backmark is going to inherit that position. However, TT will now only be on the 3 seconds of penalties.
Oh, and I think Sean just made a big mistake. He lost 1.5 seconds to Duty, which means he is now in a net P4. So Duty would retain his P3 and Stein would retain his P2. So not too sure what happened there, but I'm guessing Sean made a mistake. Yeah, and
Yeah, I'd imagine that's what's happened. I mean, with these penalties, the net positions just keep changing lap after lap after lap.
yeah,
So it's really impossible to call. One penalty can make all the difference in deciding the podium. It looks, however, though, that Kills is going to be pretty comfortable out front unless he picks up a 3 second time penalty.
yeah.
If he picks up the 3 second time penalty, then it's all to play for yet again at the
But
front.
I think a guy who can't wait for this race to be over is Jack Kings. He's in no man's land. He's completely on his own. 12 seconds to the guy ahead, 9 seconds to the guy behind. I'm really sure he's just sitting in his car singing some songs maybe. Moving side to side. Oh no, I'll stop, I won't sing, I'm sorry. Don't want to embarrass myself.
He's enjoying a little bit of time trial, I think, at the moment.
Yeah, pretty much.
Out on his own.
And I got a mosquito bite on my leg, which is driving me crazy at the moment. Fun fact of the day.
Thank you very much for the fun fact of the day.
Yeah,
My life has been dramatically improved with that.
I'm pretty sure
advent of
that's not
information.
just your life. I'm pretty sure it changed the life of everyone watching.
I think we now have world peace. Yeah.
I just solved it, which is insane considering I'm German. And what
We've got yellow
happened?
flags. That's TT who's spun
Oh
round,
no.
and he's got massive damage there as well.
Yeah, but no safety car as he is able to continue. Stein with another fast lap.
Purple as well. You never know. We could see TT bin it on his way back to the pits because he's really struggling in that wing.
But could you imagine a German solving world peace? Anyways, Kieran very close to Trundles and just in that little 3-man train. But I think you can count or rule out Wesley Santana a bit with his 6 seconds of penalty, so if nothing too crazy happens, I don't think he will be able to get P8 from Trundles and Kieran. But Kieran and Trundles, of course, fighting for on-track position as they are both without penalties. Schoen slowly creeping back up to the rear of Duty. He was 3 seconds behind, but is now back within 2.3. But Duty just really dropping off the pace at the moment. 3.4 second gap to Steins up. I think Steinzeb and Kills are just in a league of their own at the moment.
Yeah, it looks like Schuren might be inheriting that P3 as well if it continues the way it's going. TT crashes into the pit lane.
Oh, TT. Hashtag blessed.
Doesn't lose a tyre or anything though, so...
Lewis Hamilton fan, hashtag blessed.
Big Master Bland vibes on TT, I think there. Kill's now only 1/10 away from having the security of being able to pick up a 3 second and maintain his lead.
I doubt.
Got fighting going on as well with Chunders and Kieran.
Yeah. I don't know if we will see any movement back here if Chunders manages to keep it on track. Because Kieran usually isn't the most aggressive driver. He's usually very calm and composed, so I don't think he will try anything stupid, go for any unnecessary dive bombs, which I personally think is the right way to do it, because it might just be too risky. I know that you think a bit different when it comes to trying to get past guys ahead,
I mean, I think it all depends on the context of the situation.
Nah, you always send it.
So, for example, and that's oh, Kieran nearly loses it. But I mean, for example, if I was held up behind somebody who hadn't pit yet in Spa, for example, and I was trying to win a world championship, I might be a little bit more aggressive.
Yeah.
Maybe if I had to clear that person because my championship rival was behind, for example, or in a different scenario, it might not be as necessary. It all depends, really.
But then again, it also depends in the context of the race, because in that race, when you're much faster than the guy behind, you know that once the guy pits and you have clean air, you will pull away again. So it's all about context, basically.
That's true, and then all you have to do is keep it clean and consistent and not make any absolutely ridiculous mistakes, and you're fine. Wesley really putting the pressure on Kieran as well through right-hander's back marker, picking up 3 seconds of penalties as well. That takes his total to 9, but it's not going to matter really. I don't think. You're saying Jags Kings was in no man land. Well, I think you've got to take a look at back marker because he's completely on his own.
Yeah.
Out there, absolutely marooned. Yeah, this three in a little battle here are just all focusing on trying to just keep it clean. I think now that's all they really need to do.
And yeah, Kid's really stretching his legs right now. 5.2 gap, and that's the yellow flag. That's
for the Haas
TT. Oh,
TT,
and we get a full
and we've got a safety car.
Is Kills ping?
Now,
no,
how
Kills
does this spice it up?
Kills
this
stays
is a
out.
massive
What will Stein do? Also stays out. Duty stays out. So this Sean is going to benefit hugely by that. The first guy without pens. I mean, we saw how fast Kills is and his pace, but I don't know if he will be able to pull out 5 seconds with, I'm guessing, 3 or 4 laps remaining once the safety car goes back in. Wait, see.
Yeah, it's going to be a tough one for him. I mean, he's probably going to be able to pull 2 seconds from Sainz up if he can really get his head down, but even that's going to be difficult.
Oh yeah, definitely.
He'll have to just try and hope that maybe P3 and P4 fight a little bit and he can use that to try and pull a gap, but the field is pretty spread out. Backmarker, living up to his namesake, is pretty far behind Wesley as well, so he's going to take a while to catch up. The safety car, Trunders is in the pits as well. He might be making an inspired strategy decision to try and get past, to try and stay ahead of those that he was in that fight with. He should possibly be able to come out in P10 and not lose the position to Backmarker, but he isn't. Backmarker's going to get past him, so interesting to see if Backmarker will play the team game, because if he is, then he'd let him pass without 9 seconds of penalties. It is going to be all to play for at the front of the field. I think with how difficult this track is to overtake, paired in with the wet weather as well, I think that's why we haven't really seen many strategy calls made. But it's going to be another lap of this at least, I think, because those Red Bulls at the back of the field are they really aren't very close to the leaders at all.
So we only had
pretty quickly.
We only had 2 guys pitting, Wadesy in P6 and Trunders in P11, and I think Wadesy only lost out to Jack Kings in terms of track position. Oh, Showen, mate, what are you doing?
Oh, and he's spun.
Why are you spinning? Oh no!
Ow.
Oh no! Well, he only lost 2 positions, but that's... I think this is going to become a meme. Oh Jesus!
Yeah, I mean, quite possibly he was in the position where he could possibly win this race if he could stay within the 5 seconds of Kills. But Kills has just called his sniper in the stands, and he's taken care of that one.
a guy I
So
know
yeah,
from a
kills could be
league,
a little bit easier.
a guy I know from a different league would probably call out the Senna sniper.
I wouldn't call that out.
Yeah,
I'm not the guy from the other league, clearly, so
no, but
we can leave it at that.
conspiracy theory. I'm not going to go into that, of course, but yeah, he believes in that. And let me put up the penalties again. So
Oh no. Anyway,
net P1 at the restart would of course be Waitsy, but and I think Waitsy is in a great position. Fresh tires, no penalties. Pretty sure the safety act should come in this lap. Yeah.
yep, there's confirmation from race control. I don't think that Waitsy's going to be in the position to take the lead though through the penalties. I think that it's going to be
I don't know. I don't know.
with the field spread. I don't know. It's close. There's 4 laps remaining though, so
Well, we said
yeah, it might
before
be a
he's
close one.
great in the wet, but he will definitely have to make some moves. He can't rely on just penalties alone. He will have to make moves. Alright, let's see.
Yeah, and if he can't keep within the 5 seconds, then it looks brilliant for Steinzap, who just needs to keep within 2.
Oh, and
What's gone on there? Kills.
Kills was
Reed
going.
takes the lead. Steinzap's going to lose the position to Judy. Steinzap way too aggressive on the restart. He tries to go around the outside before the safety car line. He's going to drop back to P3. Jag King swoops past him into turn 1. He's going to take the net lead of this race, but Steinzap might be trying to fight him back over the next couple of laps, and this could gift the win back to Kills. I don't know how Duty didn't actually manage to take P2 there. They must have had a little bit of a nightmare, but Duty's going to try and resend it back down the inside. We've got Waitsy and Kieran also fighting. The 2 Mercedes having a civil war further back on the track, but Duty's going to make the move stick on Steinzap. Steinzap from hero to 0 in the space of 4 corners. And yeah, he's not going to be happy with that. Looks like we've got some yellow flags as well.
Yeah, I think Kieran lost his
Short
swing.
for watch Wonders and back marker side by side as well on the run up to the right hander. Wonders is going to be ahead. I don't think back marker will try and fight this one back. It wouldn't be wise to. Waitsy side by side as well with CH55 Max. He gets past. Duty trying to put the pressure on Jag Kings, but he's just got a little bit too much of a gap for this the slipstream to really be able to pull him past in these wet conditions, of course, with the lower speeds. But he might try it. No, it'll have to be an aggressive move. He's going to try and gain in the slipstream, but Jags is just going to be too far ahead, I think.
Yeah.
Signs up now behind Schuhen as well.
So
monitor the gap to lead because right now Schuhen is 3 seconds back from Kills. If the gaps continue to increase the way they are doing, then it looks like Kills may take the win here, unless Jags can keep with him. And this is the man of the hour right now. Jag Kings, we were saying he was in absolute no man's land earlier on in this race, having an absolutely boring race, and now he's having an absolutely thrilling race. He's got Judy 8 tenths behind him. He should be able to keep behind as long as he doesn't make any mistakes. He needs to try and keep within 2 seconds of Kills. He's going to be kicking himself for picking up that 3 second time penalty because he would have been having such an easy afternoon if he hadn't. There goes Kieran picking up 5 seconds speed in the pit lane, and I imagine he'd retire, and he does.
Yeah. So
Kills not pulling much of a gap to Jags at the moment, so yeah, we could see Kills under pressure, really needing to push, and this could even make him get another 3 second time penalty.
someone else really under pressure right now is Stein with Waitsy behind on his fresh tires. I think the restart, to me it looked like Kills was...
Oh, there goes Waitsy!
Waitsy.
Manages to keep it together.
So to me it looked like Kills was going out of the last corner. Stein anticipated that, but then Kills decided to slow down again. But I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure we will have to wait for a POV of one of those guys.
Yeah, I mean, it looked to me like Stein's was just a little bit too aggressive, tried to go around the outside of the final corner and then just overtook Kills. Thought he was going to go
Marker and CH Max.
Absolute ding dong battle.
Oh,
there's contact there. That's nearly a spin around. Yeah. I know there is a spin around.
Oi, what is going on there?
Trunders making contact there. Ghosting saying, nah, I'm good. Don't want to show up to this one. And that's absolutely disastrous there for CH55 Max. Yeah, it looked like Steinzap had to lift off to give the position back to Kills, and when he did that, Kills went, and Steinzap was just a sitting duck then on the straight to the guys behind him. He's lost out massively.
Yeah.
Jack Kings, though, he's kept the gap pretty much the same. Both of these two leaders, though, have to not make mistakes. Because any mistake is probably going to gift the win to their rival.
Yeah.
Got to be close come the finish, though, between the Renault and the Ferrari. Duty's fallen back a little bit as well. It doesn't look like he's quite be able to make any moves.
Right now, Sean would be winning with Jack in P2 and Kills in P3, so... what? Sean just went straight into the wall. Sean, get your head back on the track. I think
looks like it might be end plate damage on the right hand side. Yes, it is.
Stop
cursing people, Chow.
No, I didn't. That was his mistake. He just went straight into the wall going down the straight. That looked to me like he just...
by your curse.
No, he wasn't looking. I'm certain that he did not look at his screen. You can't blame that on me. I also wasn't. It was also his mistake that he spun going down the start-finish straight on the safety car. You can't blame me. You can blame me for...
I don't know, I feel like we might have to take you off comms, to be honest.
Fuck off. Sorry for my language. Sorry for my language. I'm sorry. We are a children-friendly, family-friendly stream, so I apologize. Anyways, Stein does not... not managing to get past Sean. So let me actually look at Jack Kings to see if he can manage to win this race on penalties, because at the moment he would.
Oh, it's gonna be
Never mind.
So close. No, he wouldn't. The gap's just gone above 2 seconds.
I just stopped talking.
Now it's got back to
lap.
1.9. This is gonna be so close.
I would stop
they
talking
both
this last
need
lap.
to
I'm sorry.
Absolutely nail it. Steinzap also looking to make the late move on Schuhen, not like it would matter with the penalties anyway. Jack Kings needs to gain about 1.5 tenths through this last sector if he wants to take home the win in a rain-soaked Australia today. The gap staying at 2 seconds. Now it's below 2 seconds. Now it's above 2 seconds.
Oh my god.
It's impossible to call. It's got to come right to the line.
It will be all about the last 2 corners and the exit.
Looks like Jags. Oh, it's got to be so close. I can't call it. Jags gets within the 2 seconds. Uses his ERS now up to the line. It's going to be so close.
No!
And Jags, by 2/100ths of a second, misses out to Kills. He takes the win.
Oh my god. Oh, what happened between Schoen and Stein?
We missed that, unfortunately. Did Stein get hit into the pit lane? I'm not too sure.
I
can't
have
wait to see
no
the
idea
POV
what
of that
just
one.
happened. But anyways,
that was so close there at the end. Absolutely incredible to watch. CH55 getting past back marker on penalties as well, right at the death. What a race! At the end of the race, that just really spiced it up. It looked like it may have been a bit of a dull affair halfway
the first
through.
25 laps, nothing happened. But then it just all happened.
Yeah.
Oh Jesus, I need to see what happened between Sean and Sam, because obviously we were looking at the battle for the win, but yeah, 2400s in the end. That's crazy. Alright, let me see if I don't know if I think Jack Kings does not have a mic. Well, it does not do interviews. So let's see if I can get Duty and Kills in here. Let's see if we can get their view on this race. I hope I have them both in my friend list. So Kills and who was it? Duty?
Yeah, Kills Kills, Jack Kings, and Duty Gench are podium sitters today.
There's Duty. What about Kills? Where's K? I don't know the ABC. Jesus. No, it's before S.
Your lead commentator, ladies and gentlemen.
A, B, C, D, F, E, A, B, C, D, F, G, H, I, K. Okay, before L. Ah, there we go. I don't have him on my friend list. All that for nothing. What's his PSN? Kills 2013? Oh no, there he is. He's online. Never mind. Alright. Let's see if we will get that. Let's see if we can get them to join. Honestly.
Interviews at ping pong.
Well, at the moment we're waiting for interviews, but we will see if we can get them in here. Let me actually... It was a Kills is driving the Renault, so let me pull up the Renault in the showroom thing. Oh, there we have Duty. He's loading for me, so I can't hear him talking.
Yep, we got Kills as well.
We
get a hat trick?
Nah, Jackings doesn't. Okay. So Duty is now loaded in, but doesn't have. Ah, there we go.
Hello.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Congrats on P3, first of all.
Thank you.
What about Kids? I think Kids is now here as well. Hello, Kids.
Oh, hi. Sorry.
There we go. Alright, I think we will start with you as you won the race. So congrats.
Okay.
Let's just
Thank you very much.
give a quick rundown. What were your thoughts?
Man, I had a lot of different thoughts that race. I felt really good after qualifying. I thought I nailed it. Then I seen that was a wet race, and I did not know what my pace was like at all in the rain. Didn't practice in the wet conditions. So the first few laps, I was kind of surprised that I was maintaining the gap. I was building it up, and then for my pit stop, I sped in the pit line by like 1 mph. So at that point, I was like, "Oh damn, that's the win over." Because I seen my teammate and even Duties was having pretty decent pace, and I didn't think I'd be able to build that gap on them. So it turns out I was building the gap, and I got to the 5-second mark I needed, and then the safety car came out, and I was just thinking, okay, today isn't my day. I'm not going to win. And then on top of that, I got damage on the safety car on my front wing. So I was like,
Oh.
it's just getting worse and worse. I think I was just warming up my tires in the second sector, and I was looking at the map to see how close people were. Because like if you look and people are kind of close together, you can kind of tell when the safety car is going to come in. And I just lost concentration and hit the wall across the line. And I don't know what to think. I'm happy. I'm shaking. I'm nervous. But no, I think it was a great race.
Yeah, congrats. From the commentator's perspective, I'll be honest, the first 25 laps, nothing really happened.
It was
just guys.
Boring as fuck.
Yeah, it was just everyone driving behind each other.
It was just so close to get behind people, I think.
Yeah, very, very hard to overtake. I think Australia in general, even if it's dry, it's very hard to overtake. Duty, how was your race?
I think the wet threw me off a lot. I think I had the pace in the dry, like yours. I've been practicing a lot in the dry. I haven't practiced in the wet, so when I saw that it was going to rain for the race, that threw a spanner in the works. But I got a great start from P4 to P2 off the line. I nailed it. And then Kills you could tell he had the pace over me. But my tyre wear as well was going off dramatically. I think a lot more than theirs was. So I had 85% under the first in the first stint, which was why I backed off quite a lot, I think. So I was risking it quite a bit, and then the safety car sort of saved me. But then also messed me about at the same time because the restart was all over the place. Like we all had to stop and start again.
Yeah, I don't know what happened there. The guy just, I didn't even set off, and he just drove by me, so I don't know what happened.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like I don't know how Jags got past me, but he did, and fair play to him. He's had a great race. So, and then I don't know what happened between Showen and I don't know who else it was into the last corner, but they've pretty much guaranteed me the podium, and I'm happy with it. So
um, one question I have for you. So the reserve Steinzepp, in the other Renault, he pitted a lap earlier than you. Did you get caught off guard by that, or did you just plan on pitting lap 14?
I tried to go as far as possible. Because I could see the tyre wear I think was going to be a real issue at the end, so I had to try and get my tyres as far as possible in the first stint. And honestly, I didn't think it would be that much of a undercut because I didn't think the difference would have been that much, and I think I had quite poor in laps. So yeah, I think I could have got out ahead of him, but yeah, I'm happy with the results. Still ahead of Waits, he's my championship rival, and yeah, not too angry with the result.
I'm pretty sure you increased your championship lead. Let me actually check real quick.
Yeah, it's 20 points, I believe now, with 2 races to go.
Don't show
He
me.
really
So
has on track.
Wait, what are the
I
last
do.
two
I've got it in my
races?
mind now. I'm like, I've got to get this result.
Oh,
But this was a tracker I think I could have got the win on in the dries. I don't know how fast Kills was, but I put in a lot of work in the dries, and to see that rain come down, I was like, no. But
um,
yeah.
does any one of you want to say something, or Will, do you have any questions?
Yeah, it was just so towards the end when they both spun each other out, was that just the coming together, or did one of them take the other out, or did you
I
see it?
I didn't look at that because I was looking at the gap ahead, because Jack was
Ah, okay.
like just within 2 seconds, and I think Kills ended up winning by 24 hundredths. So yeah,
Yeah, it
Ah,
was,
obviously
okay.
the
yeah,
best did.
Was it that close? Ah,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. It was just rich mix and overtake button right to the line. I didn't think I'd get it.
but
Well, do you know what that puts that on you? Like, does that put you up the table quite a bit now? Or
I think it does, but I mean, nowhere near championship contention.
I think this season's been quite spread out. To be honest, we've had 5 or 6 different winners, and I think
Yeah,
if you've
definitely.
been, I think if you've been here for all the races, you'd be right up there. To be honest, so
Yeah, and I think I
I'm
was a
happy
bit
you
more
haven't been,
consistent.
but
I do
um,
think if I was more consistent and had a bit more luck, I'd be up there. Because
yeah, 100%.
I'd like to think I do have the pace to win more races. It's just certain times my own mistakes or things out of my control. But it
I
is what
think
it
in this
is.
division, it is just about consistency. Because you do have the pace, it's just keeping it in a straight line and on track.
Yeah, exactly.
And I think
I just
quite a
want to
few people
ask.
do.
Sorry, go on.
I just think quite a few people in the league have the pace to do it. It's just the consistency. But
Yeah,
there
I
you go,
guess.
6 different drivers. But, go on.
Yeah. I was just going to ask, what was the safety car restart like from your point of view? Because from my
Uh,
point of view, I was just weaving, getting ready to start, and then the
yeah.
guy already overtook me. And I was like, what do I do now?
The one who's in second.
Yeah, the other Renault,
Yeah.
just flew by me when I was still weaving.
Yeah,
And then
he just too over eager. He just went
yeah,
for it for no reason. I think he thought he was going to go out the last corner,
yeah.
and you didn't go, and then we thought you all could accelerate, so then it just caused a bit of carnage behind, and I think that's why I think he dropped down to P4, P5 after that. So
Oh, okay, okay, that makes sense.
yeah, it was fine. And like I don't think it was like wrong or dirty or anything. I just think it was what the game's fault. So
Yeah, yeah.
all right. So if you don't have any questions,
No, I think we're good.
it was I think good and boring race. That's how we'll say.
yeah. Well,
But challenging. It was challenging.
I mean, the more boring it was, the happier I was. So I'm not
Oh yeah.
complaining.
It was very challenging. You had to keep your mind on the ball the whole time, which
Oh yeah, for sure, for
yeah.
sure.
But there we go.
all right then. Thanks everyone for watching. Let me check real quick where we are going to be Monday with TUF1. It's going to be Mexico or Baku? Baku. Mexico? No, Mexico. We
It,
yeah, we are going to be in Mexico on Monday with TUF1. So make sure to check back in then. Leave a like and yeah, thanks for watching and bye bye.